Today we're talking about what?
In this video, I'd like to talk about some uncomfortable truths about watch collecting, this hobby that both of you and I enjoy immensely. There are some aspects that are less than ideal about it, and I'd like to talk about that today. First, thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Artem Straps. Artem Straps is out of Australia. They really specialize in sailcloth straps, hydroflex straps, nylon straps. They come in a number of different widths, different lengths, different colors, different buckle styles. I have experience with Artem over the years. I've worn them on my own watches. So if you're looking for a great strap company to change up the look or feel of your sports piece, I've linked them below. Now, the first uncomfortable truth about watch collecting is the fact that rarely, if ever, does anyone notice the watch that you're wearing today. I took my wife out on a date last night, and I put on my special watch for the occasion, which is my day date. And I made the choice to tell her, "Hey, I put on my nice watch for our date tonight." And she said, "Who are you trying to impress?" And you know what? She's totally right. Who am I trying to impress? I might think other people notice that nice watch on my wrist. I might think my wife appreciates that I put on my fancy watch, but really the only person that really cares about the watch that you're wearing is yourself, even if you might think otherwise. Now, coming in at number 2 as another uncomfortable truth about watch collecting is the fact that your watches, your collection, it is worth less than you anticipate it to be. Insurance values are one thing, but really the actual value of your collection is what somebody is willing to pay you for that watch. And you might have been very studious, very sharp about going about building your watch collection and finding great deals, and you've saved some money. But you know what? Depending on what you have in your collection, 99% of the time, it's worth far less than what you think it is or what you paid for. So, this is not a hobby that you get into to make money. It's not a hobby to speculate in. Your money is much better served multiplying by putting it into a Roth IRA or something else that would bring a better return on investment. The return on investment in watch collecting is the feels, right? It's the joy that you get. It's the smile on your face when you put on a great watch that you connect with. Now, coming in at number 3 as another uncomfortable truth about watch collecting is that all brands, regardless of price, regardless of how prestigious they may be, all brands have quality control issues from time to time. And the longer you collect watches, the higher your odds are that you're going to experience an issue in a brand new watch. And sometimes you might be unlucky enough to have multiple issues happen from different watches, different brands over a short period of time. These things, they're mechanical. There's a lot of areas for them to fail. And again, regardless of price, every brand has an issue from time to time. And odds are you're going to experience one the longer that you're in this hobby of collecting watches. Now, another uncomfortable truth about watch collecting is the fact that we might think our watches are tools that tell us the time, and they're totally necessary, but in reality, they're just artful pieces of jewelry that tell us the time to some degree of accuracy. Some watches are very precise. Others, mechanical watches, they have a wide range of deviance. Many watches that are in the market, they can be off 20 seconds per day, and that's totally within the realms of reasonable expectations. And so you might think that you're having some great tool to tell you the time, but you also have a phone in your pocket that automatically syncs to the atomic time and is with you basically wherever you go. So collecting watches isn't about having a tool that's really helpful, because it's more about having a stylish piece of jewelry that you connect with, that you like wearing, that makes you excited when you put it on, and less about being about telling the time with preciseness. Now, the fifth uncomfortable truth about watch collecting is the fact that many of us can be somewhat hypocritical in our views of watches. And many times it's in ignorance. I've talked to people that go, you know what, Bruce, I just hate Rolex. I hate the shenanigans. I hate the gamesmanship. Their watches aren't even that cool. They're totally overpriced. I would never disgrace myself by giving that company any of my money. But then, literally, 20 seconds later, they're talking about how great their Black Bay is and how, it's such an awesome watch. And they're so glad that they bought it, probably not knowing that all, the money's going to the same place. They're essentially related brands. So sometimes the hypocrisy is out of ignorance, or they go the extra length of actually justifying their own hypocritical views. And I've heard things like, Bruce, I really care about honesty, integrity. I'm a brand owner. I built my business on ethics. And, I care very much about this. But then I'll see them justify buying like what we would call a shameless homage, basically a ripoff of a far more expensive design. And they justify it by saying, well, I can't afford the real deal, so I'm going to buy this for a fraction of the cost. And not necessarily realizing that they're supporting something that would not be considered fully ethical. That brand does not have the rights to the design. They did not do the hard work. They're just trying to profit off of the popularity of another brand or another designer's hard work. So things like that happen too. And I just think at times it's kind of comical. Now, the last uncomfortable truth that I'd like to mention in today's video is the fact that us watch collectors, we have a tendency to be a little bit selfish. We're always thinking about our next watch, the next dopamine hit of buying a great piece and adding it to our collections. And we look for opportunities to make that next purchase. And maybe we tell ourselves, you know what? I've just had my first child, right? My first child has been born. I'm going to go out and buy a Rolex Submariner. I'm going to wear it for 18 years. And then when my beloved son or daughter grows up and becomes an adult, I'm going to give that watch to them. The idea, the concept is nice, but in reality, are we just looking for an excuse to buy a Rolex Submariner and beat it to death for 20 years before giving that on to our posterity as an act of, hey, here you go. Look at all the scratches I put in this for you, when they may or may not even be into watches. If we have our offspring's best interests at heart, I could take that 10, 11 grand and do a lot better with some investing or, a number of different things, as opposed to buying yet another Rolex to wear and enjoy myself. So maybe some of us are really honest in heart and we just put it in a safe and we wait for them to turn 18 and then we give it to them. But I think a lot of times we're just looking for another excuse to buy ourselves a luxury watch, because we might not try to be selfish, but watch collecting can be a pretty selfish endeavor. Let me know what you think of my uncomfortable truths. Let me know if I missed any. Let me know if I'm, totally off base. Tell me where you disagree with me. I welcome all that discourse in the comment section. I'd appreciate a like if you enjoyed this video. And if you could help me out by subscribing, that would be, I would really appreciate that. So thanks. My youngest daughter wanted to come say hi to everybody, so take it away.
Today we're talking about what?
Today we're talking about watches. Do you like watches, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you a watch when you get older?
Yeah.
Or do you not really like watches and you'd like something else instead?
I want to watch.
You want to watch? What's your favorite color of watch?
Purple.
Purple, okay. Do you like watches that glow in the dark?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like gold watches?
Mm-hmm.
Silver watches?
Yeah.
Black watches?
Yeah. I like all kind of watches.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for doing a better job on my channel than I do.